Today, we're going to talk about parallax when using a red dot sight on a handgun. Parallax is one of those terms that sounds complicated, but once you see it, it makes sense. By the end of this video, you'll understand what parallax is, why it matters, and how much it actually affects your shooting. Parallax is the apparent movement of the dot on the target when your eye moves behind the optic. The gun is not moving, the target is not moving, only your eye position is changing. If the dot shifts on the target as your head moves, that is parallax. Let's demonstrate it. With the handgun fixed and aimed at the target, I move my head slightly side to side. You'll see the dot move on the target even though the gun stays still. That movement is parallax. Here's an important point. Most modern handgun red dots are designed to be effectively parallax-free at certain distance. Usually that distance is around 25 yards, sometimes closer depending on the optic and depending on the zero. Parallax-free does not mean zero parallax at every distance. It means parallax is minimized at the distance the optic is designed for. So why does this matter? At close defensive distances, around 3 to 7 yards, parallax error is extremely small. If the dot is on the target and you press the trigger correctly, you'll get acceptable hits, even if the dot is not perfectly centered in the window. Parallax becomes more noticeable at longer distances, especially if your grip, presentation, or head position is inconsistent. That is why fundamentals matter more than chasing the dot inside the window. Here's a simple drill to help visualize parallax. Place a small piece of blue tape on the target as a precise aiming point. Aim at the tape and hold the gun steady. Now, without moving the gun, slightly move your head side to side. You'll see the dot shift relative to the tape. That is parallax. The key takeaway from this drill is simple. A consistent grip and consistent presentation naturally center the dot. But when you present the gun the same way every time, parallax becomes a non-issue. Let's wrap this up. Parallax is real, but it's not something to fear. At close distances, it's largely irrelevant. At longer distances, good fundamentals minimize its effect. The dot does not need to be perfectly centered. If the dot is on the target, that's where the round will go.